Hey, everybody. I've been doing kind of a year end recap for a few years now. Now, typically when I do these, I will plan them out beforehand. I'll write down, I'll do the research and kind of look back and reflect over everything and then record a video talking about what I thought. And this one's going to be a little bit different. It's kind of off the top of my head. Let's just kind of talk through it. Personally, I've grown in many ways. One of the biggest things that I wanted to change about halfway through the year was my weight. I talked about in a recent personal vlog, but I really wanted to lose weight. I wanted to stop being as big as I was. And it especially hit me back last year around the end of the year with the new between Thanksgiving, where I overate a lot, and then Christmas, where I overate a lot. And that kind of spilled over. And I just went, well, I really should do something about it over all these years. Well, it finally has happened. I'm not quite there yet, but I have lost 50 pounds in 6 months. That's a, that's more than I've never weighed this less since I've become an adult, as far as I'm aware. I stopped checking my weight for a while there, but clothes fit a lot better than they used to. I'm pulling out really old pairs of jeans, being like, well, should have gotten rid of these years ago. Put them on and be like, hey, they fit again. That's nice. So personally, I've done that. I've been working out and losing, but working out did nothing. I've been working out for years, and it's really like muscle. There's not nothing, but like it's not anything to write home about. I mean, it's certainly there. That's nice. It's a change. That's about as far as I ever want. I'm not getting serious enough with it. I know that, where I'm going to, completely transform my body in some way that I don't have the energy to do. I don't want to. It's a lot of effort, but I did want to lose weight. So I downloaded an app that has a meal plan and a workout plan, and I've been using it and sticking straight to it. And wouldn't you know it, when you actually measure food and you plan your meals out in advance and you just eat what's on there, you lose weight. And I'm not nearly as miserable as I thought I would be. It's definitely the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, but it's there and we're working on it. And I hope to continue doing that. But I don't think I'm going to lose another 50 pounds. That's probably the biggest amount that, like, in one 6 month period, we're going to hit. We've plateaued a few times, but I don't foresee going that much more. I just want enough to kind of finish out what I started. That was that. I've also been playing games. I've been having a good time. We've been going out. That's all something that you see. What you don't see is when I sit down and watch a TV show or a movie or read a book or listen to an audiobook or anything like that. I play a lot of games. I don't have the total numbers in front of me, but by the time I'm editing this, it should be the end of the year and they should all be somewhere here. The total amount of things that I've done. That's been fun this year. That's been really cool. Yeah, I think that's probably everything. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. I think that's everything that doesn't really take place in front of a camera in some way or shape or form. So that's kind of everything to talk about there. But the stuff that does go in front of a camera goes on the computer. So let's jump over to that. Okay. So the channel as it is, what I've kind of been working on, what we've been doing. I've this is such a nightmare of the way that it came together and how it shows. Like I had fun doing this, but I did it more for this. You kind of can't even fully see it because I'm blocking part of it. But I was like, let's create a new banner image with all the different things that I'm doing. One of the things in 2024 that I did was stop trying to just stick to one subject of the wildlife. I'm also doing all kinds of things when I'm sitting there talking about, cameras and physical objects, playing video games. You can't really see the video game one. Wait, there you go. Yeah, I created a goofy little thing for when I'm doing that. But I figure it'll be easier here because I don't think I haven't actually been to my own Patreon from the user perspective. I don't know if you can see all of the information about it. Yeah, you can't really watch, can you? Okay. So if we go here and we scroll back a year into 2024, we went too far. This is 2023. I moved in 2023. Let's see, we were getting there. I was still doing some Capitalism Ho regularly. That was a fun series. We still kind of do that kind of stuff here and there, but let's get back over the course of 2024. Here we go. We didn't quite end out. This was I love this video. This is one of my favorites right here. I put so much time and effort into this, and like I just that was great. If you haven't seen that, I highly recommend it. It's goofy. It's supposed to be really. It's made to look really serious, goofy. That was technically 2023, but it's right there, and it's. I put a lot of work into that. I was really happy with that. But anyway, let's see. When we started out, we were doing Pokemon. We were doing this. We're like, I had so much fun doing waiting and watching too. I still need to get back to doing comics. I've kind of taken a break on it a little bit, but the waiting and watching is a series that we started up, I think in 2023 and ran through, and we've kind of let it run its course. It may come back at some point, but since we're done with gameplay on this channel, it's going to change a little bit. But we did set a goal, a Pokemon related goal, and we hit it. We are done. Have a completed Pokedex. That's awesome. That's a huge thing, like outside of everything else. Yeah, we're kind of let's see, I talked about Elder Scrolls. That's great. We went out looking for wildlife. Yeah, looking for wildlife. There's a lot of looking for wildlife. Look, here we go. That's only 10 months ago. Did I not get that? Oh, because of the tiers. So that would have come out more towards like January or even February of where I did them before. And we've changed a little bit of what it's looking around and, how we're doing things. Let's see. Oh, the hermit thrush on the, yeah, that was cool. We talked about Xbox games. Yeah, this is where we really started branching out into doing different games, playing Pokemon. Yeah, that was kind of where we wrapped it up, wasn't it? One of the last ones there. So yeah, we continued. The bonsai plants are going great, even though a couple have not survived, but they're doing well. Overall, it's going pretty well, but a couple of them have had a hard year and they haven't really survived. But we'd learned about bonsais in 2024, and I something I've always been interested in. I wanted to learn about, and I'm really happy with how that turned out. Some of the wildlife stuff. Oh yeah, when I went out, yep, that was one of the first times. It had been a while since the move when I went out with the big camera, and that was the older, like, one of the things I talked about that I needed to change. Doing that, yeah, just calling the title bird photography. That's it. It's a wildlife vlog. You can see it from the thing. I'm learning. I'm changing it up. That was okay. Yeah. This was one of the highlights for sure. Was a new spot, some new birds. We're just kind of coming along. This mouse is driving me nuts here. There we go. Sorry. It's been jumping back and forth because I had it fully open. I haven't needed that. But anyway, we went to a new spot. We explored Bar Lake. That was a place here in Colorado. I learned about, here I am looking at the sign. I saw some birds that I'd never seen before. Then I went back out with the big setup to get everything done. And that was where I was able to put together, looks like 9 minutes of just American kestrel footage. That's really cool. That was awesome. Then we continued going, reading comics, playing Pokemon, looking for wildlife in Red Dead, doing some more whenever we can, make it out, look for those things, do the cameras. I kind of like the way that lines up one at a time, and then it jumps. That's unfortunate. But yeah, exploring, learning about cameras, talking about them. The vintage camera collection is growing. Let's see. We continued going through. I did make a change. It was around here. You can see I actually did a little bit of editing to make that. I wish I could mouse over it, but it... All right, YouTube. Anyway, that was where things kind of changed up. Somewhere around July, I went, well, maybe I could change the way that I do them. I'm interested in spreading out and doing things a little bit differently and doing more video, a lot more video focused, as opposed to I felt like I got into a rut where I was just doing still photography for a while, but doing more specific those. And that was, again, one of the things that changed. Instead of doing like take several screenshots and putting into the thumbnails there and just kind of crowding them up to just a single one. Or I think I went and I started putting just one in there, and then a lot of the, Coyote Showdown. That was something. Oh man, you talk about some highlights from the year for seeing wildlife. That's gonna be one for sure. That's got to be near the top. Was actually being able to see the deer. Let's see here. We don't need the audio. Let's get to where I talk about the footage, and then I show it here. Yeah. There's a family of deer that are basically chasing down. Look at here's the deer, and there they are, and then you can see there's coyotes here, and they're going after the coyotes. I've never seen anything like this before. That's awesome. That is really like, let's see, where do they? Then here comes the big one. Yeah, you get the big one coming up here. A couple of the adults going, hey, here it is. Yeah, my shaky camera movement. I did the best that I could. But there goes the coyote. They're not having anything about it. A big old deer's going, you leave us alone. You go on out of here. And then I think I go back and forth. Yep, shaky. It's unfortunate, but that's what happens when you're at such a long lens extension for that. And there they go, the coyotes. Yeah, that's hands down top tier. Oh, thanks. Now I'm back at the top, even though I was further down. All right, well, it's not that far. That wasn't all that long ago. That was just a couple months ago that we did that. And then, oh, it's not out yet. Oh. So because of something that we were doing throughout 2024 and we were changing up into 2025, it was a tiered release system with Patreon getting videos first, and then it would go through a couple tiers there, one a week, and then it would release eventually on YouTube. So currently, as recording this, it's not out yet, but by the time you're watching it, it has come out. I took a trip into downtown, not really downtown. I went further down Denver to Rocky Mountain Arsenal, and I took a drive through that. That is a big open land donated as a wildlife refuge, and there are bison pastures there. They have some bison, and I took pictures of bison. I haven't done that in many, many years. The last time I saw bison, actually, that's on the homepage, I'm pretty sure, of the ones where I kind of clipped together something specific. Yeah, North American bison 3 years ago. Yeah, that's something I want to get back to doing. These are just from where I started, and then like being able to do a whole video just featuring one specific species. That's like the goal. Are the kestrels not in here? They should be in here. Looks like I've got some work to do on my playlist, because the kestrels should definitely be in here. Look at those sage grouse going at it. That was so cool when I got to see that. And then seeing the bison. Haven't seen the bison in a few years, but that's out now. That's definitely a highlight. That was really cool. So that's kind of what I want to do and kind of what we want to work towards. There's going to be a lot more exclusives on Patreon for the next year. There's going to be, let's see, can we go back to the collections now? We've started up doing a few things. We're going to put gameplay on a second channel. We already talked about that. I'm working wildlife vlogs as much as I can do whenever I'm going out. We're working on that. We're doing photography whenever I can do the videos. I'm trying to capture as much as I can for that stuff. Comics I will get back to. That'll happen over 2025. This will happen whenever I've got something cool to talk about. This will happen whenever I've got something to talk about in general. We'll talk about, do a personal vlog. I'll probably get back to walking around with the GoPro. I haven't done that in a little bit, but this has been, just the nature when I'm out and I just set up a camera and let it go for 10 minutes or 15 minutes or however long it is, it's good. It's good stuff. Gameplay will move off of here, but Pokemon will continue in a different way. I've already kind of talked about that, but that's not out yet. I don't think by this point. I think it comes out soon. But yes, everything is happening. I don't expect to do, I will have to add, we were starting up a podcast. That's happening in 2025. So that, as you can see, I have a whole camera set up here. And as a matter of fact, I've got multiple throughout all of this. And the reason for that is because, wait, can I picture myself here? Not facing either camera at the same, I can do this where I'm not facing either of them. Does this help? Probably not. But there we go. I've set up a whole thing here. We are recording content in multiple ways. I'm kind of just doing whatever makes me happy. If it's playing video games and capturing it, that's the whole point of this setup over here. If it's sitting down and talking about stuff with it, for the collection, that's awesome. I do plan on doing the one thing I want to do in 2025 that I know I'm not going to get to here at 2024 because we're almost done. I should switch back to where my mic is here. The one thing that I'm definitely going to do is I'm going to talk about all this stuff, because half the fun for me is going out and seeing wildlife and seeing what I can do. And the other half is the equipment. I love it. I love cameras and microphones and audio equipment and video equipment especially, and all of it. And I do want to talk about what I'm currently using, why I use it. I think that can be, it's a video at the very least. I don't know if it's going to be the most interesting to everybody because it'll be in depth. I've got a plan for it. I've been talking about it for long enough, but I actually am going to sit down and do it. And that's what I expect to change over the next year or so, at the very least. There's a top down of the keyboard. Sure, why not? Anyway, that's what I expect to happen in 2025. More stuff, more going out. Hopefully we'll see some cool things. Those couple highlights on there, it's really nice to see that I got some cool stuff. Because if you'd asked me before starting this, the only thing that I thought of was the coyotes. I knew that was a cool moment, seeing the deer kind of front up on the coyotes and the coyotes go, okay, bye-bye. I'd never expected something like that. I in my experience had never seen anything where the prey was the ones who were stepping up to show off the predators. That was fantastic. That was a great moment to capture. Wish I could do better with the camera shaking, but I was so overwhelmed. That's something we're going to work on. But those kind of moments, I would have thought, well, what else did I do? What else did I accomplish? Is that it? I guess that's it. But it wasn't it. It wasn't. There was more, and I'm really happy. I think this has been fun. I'm glad I'm doing it. The one thing I'm not going to do is pick 5 goals. I'm not going to do that. I don't think I got any of them. As a matter of fact, I don't even think I have them written down digitally in my notes here in any way. I think I only have them physically on a piece of paper somewhere in a book, and I don't think I got any of the 5 that I picked. So I don't want to force myself to do that. I want to try to do something different this year. And I want to do something that I specifically, I don't have 5 birds for 2025. That was what I was doing the last few years. I've got other things that I'm going to do. One of the things specifically that will happen, I'm going to try to make it a quarterly goal to get out there. And I have talked over the last few days and mentioned in each one of the videos about Patreon. Patreon is great. Patreon is where I put up exclusive content and your money goes straight towards supporting me and helping me do this stuff. Regardless of that, I would love to do it more, what I'm about to say. I should just say, I want to go on trips. I haven't done that in a really long time. A lot of what we've been doing here has been kind of in town and, just places around Denver and where I can go within a day trip of a couple hours and, go spend half a day and then come back. Overnight trips. That's going to happen in 2025. At least 4 of them, hopefully. That's my plan, is to go out and do 4, go rent a hotel or Airbnb or whatever it is, wherever I have to go. Maybe I can go find a cabin out in the middle of nowhere and just go explore. I don't have to specifically find wildlife. I want to, obviously. That's kind of the goal. But then make videos doing that, kind of travel more and experience these places. And it can be kind of half and half is what I see it as, is, all the things that interest me. Going out, looking for wildlife, getting to travel and explore the world, see the sights of what's out there. And I can probably, go wander around in an antique shop or something and go look for vintage cameras somewhere. That's something I'm really interested in. Or it's, go buy a pack of magic cards and open them on camera. Whatever it is, it's excuses. It's reasons to get out there. That's what I want to start doing. That's kind of my big goal for 2025, is to focus on going out and explore more. I've got one location already kind of locked in my head. I just need to, after we get through the holidays and the spending there, kind of dedicate some money towards that specifically. But that's what I've been doing. That's what I have been. That's everything here on this side of my life, recording content and going out and doing those things. I also have a whole job that's the reason I get to do any of this, is because I spend 40 hours a week actually working. I would love to transition away from that. I'll be honest with you. As much as I've changed, my job in the last year has changed, this is what I want to be doing. And that's what Patreon is going to do one day, hopefully, if enough people see this and go, yeah, okay, here's $3 a month or $5 a month or something like that. If enough people do that, that's how I transition into doing this more full time and getting out there and seeing the wildlife, and also just kind of doing whatever it is I want to do. My job itself changed from in e-commerce in general. I'm now fully doing software development. That's what I've been doing the last year. It's tailored towards that stuff, and it's, dipping our toes in. We're doing a lot of learning, and, I'm basically being trained every week, but that's, I've talked about it here or there. That's what I'm doing now. I'm training to become a software developer. It's a job. It's something I can do. I'm so far capable of doing it. We haven't hit a wall where I just can't learn and I can't change. And am not smart enough to be a software developer, as it turns out, in these ways. It helps that I have a really good teacher, somebody, my coworker who's there, who's kind of my boss, who teaches me all these things and is willing to help me and explain it and go, okay, let me put it in video game terms, or, let's do the, like, really patient, really helpful. It's probably the only reason I've come as far as I have and will continue going down that path. It's not what I'm passionate about. I can just tell you that. It's a job. It pays the bills. I'd like it to pay a lot more bills. I'd like to be making software developer money, but since I'm still in training, that hasn't happened yet in 2024, moving into 2025, hopefully one day. And then, everything can change towards that when the Fire Nation attacks. That's what I'm hoping for. But in the not really. I don't know where I was going with that. Specifically, I would like to get to the point where I'm making more money from that, just so it's fair software develop. Okay. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with all that. Ultimately, what I want to do is go out and make camera content. I want to make content with a camera. I want to go look for wildlife with a camera, and that I want to be paid for that. I want to be able to. What? Ultimately, obviously, the long-term hope and goal is to transform everything that I'm doing here, where I'm passionate about it and I'm having fun, into a career. That doesn't pay the bills currently. It hopefully can, but not at this point in time. It will be one day. I'm going to keep practicing. I'm going to keep doing the wildlife stuff like I want to do. I'm going to travel more. I'm going to get out there. Maybe I'll see some really cool things. I've got a few ideas about where I can go and what I can see. And that's kind of what I'm hoping to get to. In the meantime, I'm going to continue progressing with software development as much as I can. I'm going to continue learning the things that I'm learning and building out a portfolio and, a resume, working for the same company. I don't know if I said that. I don't want to go too far into details on that kind of stuff, but I'm still just basically doing what I'm doing part-time, what I was doing before for the e-commerce side, and then going into software development on the rest of the time. So it's split, kind of 75-25, and I'm learning as much as I can and getting to that point where I can be a software developer fully. That's not what I want to do for the rest of my life, but it is what I want to do currently in 2025, and I'll be 34 years old. So here's hoping. Maybe by 40 years old, I'll have a wildlife dedicated career or content creation of some kind of going out and doing fun things and recording all that stuff. Maybe. We'll see. It's certainly possible. It's a goal, and maybe we'll get there. We're taking small steps. In the meantime, I'm just having fun. And isn't that what it's all about? It's what something's all about. I don't know if it's what everything is all about, but that's what I'm doing. I think we've gone on long enough. I think we recapped 2024 pretty good, and that's what I'm looking forward to in 2025. All right. Bye, buddy. Yeah. No, I think that works. That was good. Okay. All right. I think it will work, at least. I think I said all the things I wanted to. I don't think there's anything else that I left out. And I think I'm just talking over it now because you got to have 15 seconds at the end of the video in order to specifically for the end. What do they call that? The embeds. I've been going on longer than 15 seconds now, that's for sure.